Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hatettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a hell of a lot of haters up in here. So last week, we did this live, okay, about the Ash'ari and the Maturidi, and we weren't talking about dogma. Rather, we were talking about a particular element of Ash'aris and Maturidis who are quite proud and happy and joyous in their anti-black stances. So we mentioned this and we talked about this last week. And we went in great detail with Sheikh Hanif Bashir. And Sheikh Hanif, he was kind enough to break down not only the weakness of the hadith in particular that these Ash'aris mentioned, but also breaking down how the matan itself, the text itself, contradicts what's in the sunnah, and even the narrator of the hadith itself is a contradiction of how the hadith is being presented, because the actual narrator, the actual scholar who is bringing this information is a black man. So we brought all of this forward and we presented it to the people in order to enlighten the people what is going on with the Muslims. The Muslims are taking these anti-black stances, and even the Ash'ari and the Maturidiyya, they're not just taking these anti-black stances, but they are proud of their anti-black stances, and they are saying that this anti-blackness or this racism is a part of Islam. They're saying it, not us. We were not the ones who were saying it. We are just presenting what they were saying in their own words. They are saying that classical scholarship has never refuted this. And they are saying that for 1,300 years, no scholar has come forward to refute this so-called racist rhetoric. And if it was racism, then how come nobody said anything about it? And they were quoting their own scholarship, and they were proud to do it. They were happy to do it. And they were saying that if it was a problem, then the scholars of Ahlul Sunnah would have refuted it. That wasn't our words. We weren't making that stuff up. That is what these folks were saying. Then how is it, family, that when we present it as it was said, without adding, without subtracting, not furthermore, they didn't just take anti-black stances, but they made direct anti-black digs at black people while using what they called the sunnah to defend their anti-black stances. Like the individual who posted a meme of Jordan Neely being choked to death and defending the choking to death of Jordan Neely with a fatwa from some scholar of theirs. So please tell me, people, how is it that after we presented the evidence, as it was shown very clearly, that the Sambo Squad come out through the woodworks without anything that looks like a coherent sentence or defense, still defending their zaddies and stuff. You see, this is why black folk, we have to be more intelligent. We have to know who we can trust and who we can't. Not once did I mention anything about Ash'ari Creed, Maturidi Creed. Not once. And the closest thing I said to the Ash'ari Maturidi Creed was that this individual who is making this claim using this hadith, he don't even like the hadith. He don't like the hadith of the slave girl. And in the same diatribe that he spewed, he is saying that the hadith of the slave girl is not mentioning Allah being in the direction. He's saying this in the same article. So he don't like that part. But the part that he likes is the part where the hadith says she's black and ignorant. That's the part he wants to keep. That's the part he has no issues or no problems with. He likes that part. He just don't like the part where the hadith says that, where the Prophet Muhammad is asking the slave girl, where's Allah? And she says, Fi sama, above the heavens. He don't like that part. And he refutes that part. That's the part he refutes. But he doesn't refute the part where the hadith says she's black and ignorant, but rather he uses it as a proof to say that black people are inherently and genetically and mentally and spiritually ignorant. This is the part that he uses. We weren't making it up. We read it for the people. And we posted it for everybody to see. So why is it that the so-called Raccoon squad or the Sambo squad from the Ash'aris and Maturidis are running not to defend their blackness, not to defend black folk, not to defend the Prophet Muhammad sallam and his stance in anti-blackness and prejudice, but they came to the defense of the racist Ash'aris and Maturidis. Why did they do that? Why? I will tell you why. It is because black folks, since we were kidnapped and brought to the West, have been trained very well to defend those who do not have any good intentions for us. And as long as there is an element of religiosity within the people who don't have any intention of treating us right, nor teaching us right, there will always be the guard dog Negroes to run and defend them no matter what, especially against other Negroes. To hell with the evidence. To hell with the proof. We need to protect our zaddies. Now, y'all know me. I could really care less what people think or what people say about me and what we do here on the Feachaz. This is the Black Grassroots. As a matter of fact, this is the new Black Muslim media. And we deal with our issues without any fear and without any concessions. We're not afraid to deal with our issues here. And y'all know that I really don't care so much about what goes on social media platforms. But the only reason why I'm doing this, because I don't like, lots of people talk about us here on the Feachaz. Lots of people, we don't really care. But the only reason why we're mentioning this is to bring to light the mentality of black-looking people who are dead set on protecting status quo over themselves. And it don't matter if they are Muslim or not. They are ready to defend status quo, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. We have pointed out racism within the Muslim community at every level. Whenever anybody said anything anti-black, we were the first ones to come and put the brakes on that. But not just put the brakes, totally annihilate some folks and embarrass them. That's what we do here. So much so that even the tone within social media spaces has changed because of the message that we are bringing. These folks, the same folks, Ash'ari Maturidis, mind you, the same folks, when we were saying that no doubt the Salafis have been co-opted by nefarious forces outside the black community who are hell-bent in controlling and destroying the black community, these people were like, yeah, that's right. At least this brother, he's telling the truth. That's what they were saying. You can even find them in the comments. But the second that we point out, and these people ain't even black. They're not even black. That's a killer. The second that one of their own dogmatic mind control bots doesn't just say some culturally insensitive stuff. No, they are bragging and boasting how Islam is anti-black, and we put it out there, and they are connecting it to Ash'ari and Maturidi. Not us. It's not us who's doing it. It is them themselves who are doing it. All of a sudden, the raccoons jumping out of trees everywhere, jumping out of their garbage dumpsters everywhere, snarling with their teeth. You can't say that. No. I don't believe that. No, I watched the whole video and I didn't see that. I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. No, sir. No, sir. I didn't see it. No, sir. The audacity. So let's look at what's going on Facebook. This is Facebook things. Look here. This brother, I didn't even know what was going on Facebook until this brother, he actually messaged me privately, right? He messaged me maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, right? So this brother, he posted this after watching the video, the live that we put out, right? It says, question for the brothers and sisters that follows the Ash'ari Maturidi Akida. Are your scholars openly propagating white supremacy? That's the question. So, of course, a lot of them don't know what's going on, right? They don't know. They don't know that we did a live. So they're asking all kind of questions. You got to give me some backstory and all kind of stuff. The brother, mashallah, he posted the live that we did with Sheikh Hanif Bashir. Let's check out some of these replies, shall we? And y'all know we don't really care about the nobodies and the naysayers and all this kind of stuff. It's not about that. It's about the mentality and how widespread this mentality is. I had no clue this was going on. This brother's comment got 105 comments. I don't think anything I ever posted on Facebook has 105 comments. But this brother, he ended up having 105 comments on this one post. And I had no clue what was happening on his post. Okay? I did not know what was going on. All right? So he posted a video. Okay, let's read some of these comments, shall we? Look at this, look at this. Khalil Mu'minun says, you're going to listen to Salafis talk about who's supporting white supremacy when black sellers be the main self-deprecating folks running around talking about, I'm not black, I'm Muslim. Man, we're so lost. May Allah guide us. What does this have to do with the price of peanuts? You see how they deflect? Does this answer the question that was even asked, family? Yes or no? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Charles Irby. Yes, I do have, what is it called? A Wealth Simple. It's something like a Cash App, and it's in the description, inshallah. You know, if you want to make a blessing or donation, please feel free. Hayakumullah. Look at here, family. Here on the features, we don't do the dogma stuff. This is not about dogma. This is about calling out white supremacy. They can't even look at the video, bro. They can't even watch it. And it's not because they're Ash'ari, and it's not because they're Maturidi, and it's not because they're Sufi. It's because they are ultra dogmatic. Their dogma blinds them from looking at the truth straight in the face. So instead of looking at the evidence that's presented right in front of them, they have to go to some far, far, far off red herring. What does this have to do with Ash'ari and Maturidi scholarship openly propagating white supremacy? Ain't got nothing to do with it. Let's keep reading, shall we? Look here. He goes, Aki, even if I accepted these claims without verifying them myself, you don't plan on verifying them. Come on now. Come on. You know you don't plan on verifying anything. The presence of some racists among the vast majority of countless others who share the same Aqidah but don't express racist views is not a fair indictment of the group as a whole. Who's indicting the group as a whole? Did anybody say that all Ash'ari and all Maturidiyya are promoting white supremacy? Who said this? You see how people play games? They play games, man. Because they don't want to look at the evidence. As soon as you say that it's not us saying it, mind you. It's these guys, and they're very, very proud. And we will read what this Ibn Khan said again about the thousands of years of scholarship who signed off on this anti-blackness. Not us saying it, him. But you don't have a single word to say about that. your go-to move is to attack the Salafis. And we ain't even talking about that right now. You refuse to attack anybody who claims to be under the same Akida banner as you, even if it means attacking your own people, which is exactly what this Negro did with his Malcolm X picture on his profile. Take that Malcolm X picture off your profile. Put Thomas Sowell there instead. Or Candace Owens. That's what y'all need to be doing. Stop pretending you about Malcolm X. Y'all are fake. Fake. We ain't done. See, look at here. This is why I'm on this platform today, because the naysayers can now come and defend themselves now. You have the opportunity to come on this platform and defend your positions now. Come and tell us why we are wrong for pointing out which your so-called students of knowledge are saying about your scholars. Not us. And we will quote them directly, and we will see and we will watch what you're going to say in defense of them. Don't be afraid. Let me put the link one time. Let's get this party started quickly, all right? Y'all must be tripping. Wallahi, I didn't know this was going on. I did not know what was going on. I made the video, and the ironic thing is that the video is right there. They had the link. They can watch it. They don't come because they know they know what's gonna happen if they bring that nonsense over here to the Feachaz. We'll put the brakes on that with the quickness. Don't bring your coonery around here. This is a coon-free zone. We don't mind rehabbing the coons. If you need a coon rehab, no problem. If you need a butter biscuit intervention, no problem. But look at these Negroes, man. If you are this graduate from Medina University to have no shame and some to disparage the whole that says a lot about you and Fox News. How Fox News get into this conversation? Go watch the live and just find one sentence where we disparage the Ash'ari or the Maturidi ever in that entire live. We did not even mention them in terms of Akida as a group, as anything. We didn't say anything bad about them. We said that this is what this guy is saying about the Ash'ari and the Maturidi. And he's from y'all. And we quoted him. And he was using hadith to do what he was doing. That's what we said. How you make these statements without even looking at the evidence? These are the people that are going to lead the Muslims into the future. These folks, they can't even look at the evidence. How Fox News get into this? We are Fox News now? Us. We are Fox News now. Can you imagine? We get called all kind of stuff here. All kind of stuff. When we blast the alt-righters, they call us liberals. Now we blasting the liberals, they calling us alt-righters. Imagine. Because they don't care about the evidence. They are there to defend zaddies' principles. That's it. They are the gatekeepers to white supremacy, and they put pictures of Malcolm X in their profile and stuff. After years of following you, I'm just surprised to see you get behind such a despicable tactic. What tactic? Talk to me. I'm right here. I respect differences in opinion based upon evidence among scholars and technical aspects of Akida, but this charge of racism is nothing short of propaganda. Really? Word. Word. I wish a biscuit would. I wish a biscuit would. I'll leave you all to the smear campaign. Allah Mustan. We're smearing somebody? Where are the people saying that we are smearing somebody? Can you imagine? These are the biscuits running around all over social media trying to defend Islam. These folks. Sheikh Yusuf Rios, this is what he put. Look at here. From SeekGuidance.org. Sheikh Faraz Rabbani, I'm shocked to read a number of hadiths related to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ criticizing or mentions of bad traits of black people. Aren't these true? Sheikh Yusuf Rios don't even have any dog in this fight, but he's showing that this stuff exists. That's the whole point. He's showing this stuff exists. And these folks acting like we just made this up yesterday. And ironically, this question was asked way back in December 6, 2010. Here's the answer. I pray this finds you the best of health and spirits. The Imams of Hadith, including Ibn al-Jawzi, Ibn al-Qayyim, Mullah Ali al-Qari, and others, have affirmed that such hadiths are lies. Against the Messenger of Allah. See how clear the answer is? Why can't we get a clear answer like this from these same biscuits who are telling us that we are running smear campaigns and stuff? Whose teachings affirm that there is no place for racism in Islam. We can't get a clear answer from y'all Negroes? Oh, you did give a clear answer, and your clear answer is we are the ones who are running a smear campaign. That's your answer. Who says house Negroism is fake? Now here comes Khalil Mu'minun, he want to quote hadith and stuff like that. Instead of answering what was in the actual live, answer those charges. Out there chasing biscuit. Excuse me, sir, can you give me another biscuit? Well, I defend you, sir. These biscuits sure good, sir. No, sir, don't let those other Negroes in the big house with us, sir. Y'all got some damn nerve. Just keep reading, y'all. Look at this. Look what this one, Jamil No, look what he's saying, okay? I looked at the whole video. This video is a huge stretch to place promoting white supremacy on two entire creed systems. Is it really, Jamil? No. Is it really? Because a few statements made by a student of knowledge, I'm not associated with either creed system, but I have to be fair. Word, that's a huge stretch, right? Okay, look at here. Jamil, no. Since it's a huge stretch, this is so crazy. I can't believe I have to do this. Even me, I'm looking at this like, what is wrong with these guys? I'm like, these guys can't be serious. I read this in the original live, mind you. Okay? Let me quote this guy. Okay? Not my words. This is what he said. Just as we do not accept Western definitions of sexism or pedophilia as they contradict the principles of our faith, likewise, we do not accept their definitions of racism. Jamil Noel, did I say this? Indeed, treating someone unjustly for any reason, including their race, is not permitted in the Sharia. Just as it is not permitted to treat someone unjustly based upon their gender. You see all these people, they lie. He has to say that for plausible deniability. But what he really believes in, hardcore white supremacy. We're going to prove that in a minute. However, we disagree wholly with the Western idea of what is justice and injustice with regard to rights of women and men. Likewise, we disagree with the Western idea of what constitutes racism. But here's the killer. I posted this article. This is the paragraph. What does he say afterwards? He says, whilst the commentary of Mullah Ali Qari, brief and part of narration, the commentary of Sheikh Muhammad Abid al-Ansari Sindi al-Madani is slightly more detailed in explaining why he said this. What did he say? Look at here. It's him attributing the explanation of his belief to his sheikh. What did the sheikh say? She, that is the woman who is hit black, she has no knowledge. That is regarding faith. Because, and he's underlined this, because the predomination for the blacks is absence of religiosity and knowledge of fiqh. Due to their thinking being limited for comprehending these realities. Jamil Noel, why didn't you attack that? I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about entire creed systems, anything. You claim to have watched the entire live, correct? So you let whatever this mullah, whatever Sheikh Muhammad Abid al-Ansari Sindi al-Madani, you let this slide. I don't care who it is. You let that slide. You let this Talib ibn Khan, who wants to define racism with the racism according to the understanding of his fiqh and his aqidah. You want to let that slide. You want to let the very blatant statement, because it's predominant for blacks to have absence of religiosity and knowledge of fiqh, due to the thinking being limited from comprehending these realities. You're going to let that slide. But the one thing you cannot let slide is the Feachaz actually quoting it exactly how it is, the way it was presented by the people who said it. That's what you cannot let slide. I did not say the great scholar this, the great scholar that, and the Ash'ari this and the Ash'ari that. Look at the title of this. The Mullah Ali Qari and the Hadith of the Slave Girl, refuting modernist Wahhabis and Sunni creed. Who's the modernist? It's the Wahhabis. That's us. He is using this, weaponizing weak hadith, mind you, to purport white supremacy. You don't have anything to say about that, but you have everything to say. Look at all this. Like, this is so ridiculous. This is why Negroes are the way that they are and where they are, because they can't divorce themselves from dogma. It's impossible. Look, let's go back to, I watched the whole video. You watched the whole video and that's the conclusion you came up with? Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 100,000-fold. Ameen, Sister Tika. May Allah always expose the truth and keep us on the path of the true seekers and speakers. Ameen, 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 ameen. I mean, just the thought itself. Go back, if you watch the whole video, go back and find my statement. The Ash'aris believe this. The Ash'aris believe in white supremacy. The Maturidis believe in... Go find it, please. Quote it, timestamp it, put it up, and I will make an open retraction. That wasn't even the point of the live. The point of the live was to show that Ash'aris and Maturidis are signing off, the students are signing off on white supremacy, and they are proud of it, which is very clearly shown here. Did I prove my point yet? Absolutely ridiculous. Let's look at here. Let's go back to this Facebook. One second, yo. Oh, we got time for smoke. We are gonna be on here as long as possible until somebody come and answer. And like, if y'all are brave, then come up, pull up. No problem. Pull up if y'all are brave. Absolutely ridiculous. So look at here. Abdur Rahim Kozart, of course. This is the same conclusion I came up with. I know Hanif Bashir, and I mentioned to him some Yemeni scholars I have heard with my own ears say blatant racist statements years ago. When I was up in Canada, I saw how they pushed back translators on the side and wanted others to translate for them. Alhamdulillah kulli hal. I'm not quite sure what he mean by that. I don't know what Yemeni translators and Yemeni scholars have to do with this dude using his own scholarship, bragging and quoting books and everything. The book he's quoting, Muwahib al-Latifa, quoting books, pages, everything. Chapter 1, verse 108, whatever it is. Right? And saying, because predominant for blacks is absence of religiosity and knowledge of fiqh, due to their thinking being limited and comprehending these realities. What does this have to do with that? It's one thing if somebody says something, culturally insensitive or whatever, but it's another thing to make it a part of religious belief and teach the people that black people have an absence of religiosity and knowledge of fiqh due to their thinking being limited and comprehending these realities. And since y'all are so quick to talk about how we are disparaging the entire, all of Ash'ariya and all of Maturidiyya for being white supremacist and racist based upon the statements of some student knowledge of somewhere, which we never said, mind you. Outrageous deflection and red herring. Since y'all want to go there, let's go there then. Just name one black Maturidi or Ash'ari of any repute in the West. And when I say repute, I mean repute like Hamza Yusuf, where everybody respect. Just name one. The closest thing you can come to with that is Zaid Shaker. And ain't nobody I know listening to no Zaid Shaker. I'm sorry to say. Right? Nobody I know listens to Zaid Shaker. But look at your landscape. Y'all accusing us of this and accusing of that, like we can't see what's going on with our own very two eyes. Y'all must be tripping. So now these same folks are proud of their anti-blackness. Proud. Trying to sound nuanced and stuff. They are copying alt-writers even in their vernacular and their epistemology and the way that they use language. They're carbon copy alt-writers. The modern Wahhabi. Modern Wahhabi? The liberal Wahhabi and stuff. Just copy paste. And then, nothing original. Because, these people, they don't have an original thought between the 6 brain cells of all of them that they're sharing. They have to copy from, they done been copying from Kufar for so long. But anyways, the point is, they out here copying. And when we point that out, we're not pointing out because of dogma. We're pointing out because it's actually happening. And we are trying to tell our people what is going on. That's why we're warning them. Ain't got nothing to do with no Salafi, Ash'ari Maturidi, anything. These people are saying it. These people are saying that it's a part of our creed to be racist. But you all ain't got not a single word to say about that. So pull up. Come and defend it then. Y'all must be tripping. Let's keep reading. Facebook things, y'all. Facebook things. Look here. Abdul Malik Abu Talata says, I watched the video in its entirety. I won't say that Ash'ari Matis do promote white supremacy, but colorism and bigotry is rife in non-African communities. That's a fact. Look here. Jamal Kraft. Just thought I would comment in this. What is the ruling on white supremacy by any of these scholars and ruling in any Muslims who practice colorism and racism? Seriously. Excellent comment. See, these are the type of things that y'all should be asking. See, the brother Abdul Malik Abu Talata, he was being very diplomatic. Very diplomatic in his comment, right? But he didn't just dismiss the entire video saying, why are you accusing old? Like, what the hell is that, man? What is that? Look here, look here. Hey, Juan Fong, right? The intelligent thing to do is not ask a stupid question indicting an entire Islamic creed. Rather, prove that the scholars of the Ash'ari Maturidi, look, you see how stupid, he's saying not to ask a stupid question, but leads with asking a stupid question. Can you imagine? He's saying not to ask a stupid question, but leads with asking a stupid question. See, I keep telling y'all in Islam, we don't have this concept of there's no such thing as stupid question. No, we believe in stupid questions. This right here is a stupid question because the very first 10, 15 minutes of watching the previous live that we did, he would have realized that yes, the Islamic scholars said from the Ash'ari Creed or the Maturidi Creed said this A, B, C, D, and we just quoted again right now. We just quoted it. But what these dudes are doing, they're putting cotton in their ears because their thumbs up their asses, and they can't listen to them. La, 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 you know, because their thumbs so far up their asses, they're making that noise, and they're caught in the ears, so they can't hear what was actually being said while closing their eyes, so they can't read the screen to see that their own scholars are saying this. And look what he says. Then you can get an intelligent response from those of us who follow the creed. The scholars of Islam say that an intelligent question is half of knowledge and a stupid question is simply that stupidity. Well, thanks for embodying it. Ha Zhuang Fong. See, you see why I tell y'all, and I always tell y'all, before you post anything on social media, don't. Before you think about replying to anything on social media, don't. Just don't. Because this is stuff that can happen. You can't be serious. And this is why we do not argue with shell-shocked Negroes on the internet. Because they ain't trying to find the truth anyways. They're not trying to come to no conclusions, or they are just trying to prove their point. And they will do whatever buck dance or tap dance or whatever they have to do in order to prove their point. That's it. So people got a point to prove. There's no reasoning with them. Can you imagine it? This again, this was brought to my attention maybe 4 or 5 days ago. And I was like, what is going on here? You guys can't be serious. I'm reading some of these replies like, so, Bilal, why are you replying it to now? You never reply to people on Facebook or whatnot. And I said, you're right. I don't reply to people on Facebook. Even on this thing, I didn't post not a single reply. All right, on this 100+ messages, Brother Rashid Abdurrahman Savage's post, I didn't post a single reply on this. Right, but I'm showing you. Because when you are engaging with people with this type of mentality, anybody who wants to progress, they don't waste their movement. It's very clear that these people are a waste of movement and a waste of time. Like, how can you say something like that? A stupid question. Stupid question, and I'm quoting your scholars, unless you're saying that these are not Ash'ari Maturidi scholars. That's a different thing. If you're saying that these are not Ash'ari or Maturidi scholars, that's one thing. But if they are, then didn't you just make yourself look dumb? Right? So even if I was to say that the brother Rashid Abdurrahman Savage was trolling on Facebook, even if I was to say that a little bit, trying to get a reaction out of the Ash'ari Maturidis, that's one thing, right? But how like hundreds of comments, bro, 100 plus comments, and not a single Ash'ari or Maturidi that I saw from these comments was like, yeah, what the brother said was wrong. Not a single one. They didn't come after that brother. They came after us, telling us that we are asking stupid questions. Rashid Abdurrahman, he says, a legit one. That's not stupid at all. There are only stupid questions that are not, that to ask not question, especially if we are starting to see Muslims having white supremacy ideology and affiliation with them in any way. Are you saying that Muslims are not accepting whites? We see it. We are the ones actually here in the new Black Muslim media. We've been pointing this out for how many years have we been pointing it out now? Maybe 3-4 years now? Solid. From the Muslims. And this phenomenon is not, it's garnering steam because your YouTubian da'i elites are infatuated with red pill and alt-right and liberalism and anything trending. And they're putting the most outrageous, most outlandish, racist, like just without any dust, racist things out there. They're just putting it out there. And you come to attack us? You must be tripping. Y'all better run back to the chicken coop with the rest of the raccoons. Raccoons. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Raccoons. I said raccoons. I said raccoons, YouTube. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. They want to go into the chicken coop with the rest of the raccoons. Okay, YouTube. So the entire look at who said the entire followers of Creed, Ash'ari Maturidi are white supremacists? Even the question doesn't even say that. Look at the question. Question for the bro and sister that follow Ash'ari Maturidi Aqidah: are your scholars openly propagating white supremacy? That's the question. Do words have meaning in any language? Do words have meaning? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Wang Zhongfeng? You gotta, looks like a Chinese or whatever. It looks like a name of China or Zhuangfeng. What is that? China? It's gotta be Chinese, right? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Amazing. It's just amazing. These are the Negroes that you are wasting your time arguing with. But Bilal, you're wasting your time. No, if you look at this entire thing, I did not comment not a single time. And I am not arguing with these Negroes either. But I am offering them the chance to come in and explain themselves. with all that grease flowing down there, all the way down to the chin from all them butter biscuits and fried chicken they be eating. Come explain all this. Don't be shy. We're going to be here for a minute. Let's read some of these, y'all. You're missing the point. Yes, there has been what we call racism and colorism in Islam by scholars, but it wasn't connected to anyone's creed, belief, or system. Word. You will find statements of scholars in the Hanbali creed as well. It doesn't mean that Hanbali creed pushes white supremacy. White supremacy can't even... I don't know what white supremacism is, but anyways, look at here. That's why he's saying. Jamil No. Which this is the same Jamil No who said he watched the video. You can't make this crap up. You know when people have confirmation bias? Confirmation bias. Up until now, we didn't mention anything about Ash'ari creed or Maturidi creed. We didn't mention it. But they keep bringing it up. And the only reason why they would bring it up is because they are self-conscious about their own stuff. That's it. And I have a feeling that these folks, they know very well what they scholars have been pushing in terms of anti-blackness. They know very well. But yet still, because of their hatred for the Wahhabis, they can't call it out. Their hatred for the Wahhabis trumps anything racist that their scholars can tell them. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I said that their racism trumps anything. Their hatred for Wahhabis trumps anything that their scholars can tell them about racism. You got to remember, and this is the first time I'm actually going to mention anything to do with creed, okay? I've been talking about this now almost 2 hours now, right? From the first live and this 1 hour into the second live here. 1 hour to the first live, now there's 1 hour into the second live. This is almost 2 hours. This is the first time I'm going to mention anything about creed. Ash'aris and Maturidis believe in this concept called blind following. They believe in that. Pardon me. You have to blindly follow your scholars because you don't have the ability to make ijtihad. And if you don't have the ability to make ijtihad, you are not allowed to make any decisions at all in the religion. You must, by all means, follow a scholar. all in any means. Because the scholar knows Quran and the scholar knows Hadith, and the scholar is not going to rule by anything other than the Quran and the Sunnah, and therefore you must have a scholar. So they believe in that. So if the scholar tells you like this, let me just stop sharing this. If the scholar tells you, you just pull it up here. If the scholar tells you, you shiny, greasy, black 8-ball Negro, that regarding faith, because it's predominant for the blacks, is absence of religiosity and knowledge of fiqh, due to their thinking being limited and comprehending these realities, and the scholar tells you that, you must believe it. You are not allowed to have a difference in opinion, according to both Ash'aris and Maturidis. You get it? And that's the first and only time I'm going to mention anything about the creeds. Okay? I don't think I'll mention anything about. That's why they have such a hard time with what's staring them right in the face and trying to accuse us of injustice by quoting this very proud white supremacist Ibn Khan, who's pushing white supremacy and not just using hadith for it, but using the statements of scholars. But wait. Well, how do we know he's a scholar? According to Ibn Khan, he says, let it not be forgotten that the scholar was described by Sheikh Abdullah bin Abdul Rahman Suraj al-Hanafi al-Mekki, the first appointed position chief of Meccan scholars by the Sharif of Mecca Muhammad ibn Aoun. He said that the Imam, the scholar, the Alama, the sagacious doyen of scholars, the seal of verifiers of his age, the chief of the scholars, the precision of his era and time, pride and firmly grounded scholars. This is what he's saying. What are you talking about? I'm the one who's saying this? What is you talking about right now? I made this up. The select sacred masters, the perfect teacher, the connecting Kabbalah jurist, the Muhaddith, the Hafiz, Muhammad Abid Asindi. In this glass night, his pimps want to say, this is a stupid question. You know, which scholars? Y'all are tripping, man. You Negroes are straight tripping. I think some of y'all in Jahiliyyah, you know, took about 5 or 6 pulls too many when you all smoking, you know, the funky Buddha and stuff. And y'all are brain damaged now. Can you imagine? Like how sick you gotta be when all of this is staring you right in the face and you got the nerve to ask us, you know, which scholar said that? Y'all are tripping. So what, none of y'all are gonna pull up? You can't be serious. The link's in the chat. Pull up. You cannot be serious. And this is the other thing about social media. Social media make people brave behind keyboards and stuff. Y'all are real brave and you know, haughty and all kind of stuff. When you're behind a keyboard and nobody can challenge you and nobody can see you. And all they see is your Malcolm X picture in your profile picture because they want everybody, you have a persona you want to portray that you about that. And you really ain't. You isn't. Remember that song? Is you, is oh, is you ain't my baby. Well, you ain't. Y'all are just perpetrating the fraud, as they say. All this dribble drabble, words that are combined together that make sentences, but they don't make any sense. Let's continue, y'all. All right, these guys are, yeah, we put in that work today. We put in that work. Let's continue. Unbelievable. So let's read some of these, y'all. Look what Jamil No has the nerve to say to Rashid Abdurrahman. Bring me actual statements, Aki. Again, that has nothing to do with the actual credo beliefs of Ash'ari or Maturidis. Look at this. Can you believe this nonsense? And when we show them actual statements, they'll come up with some other red herring to go for us to chase around. Like this one. No, I'm convinced without any doubt of your stupidity. Look at this. Look at this. Directly to ad hominem attacks. You know, a sign of an unintelligent person is their quickness to go to ad hominems. They can't deal with the argument in front of them. So what they do is that they try to insult their way to victory. You get me? This is Hua Zhuangfang. He started with an ad hominem. Your question is stupid. He just started just like that, without inspecting, without watching, with nothing. And it's like the Prophet ﷺ said, you know, he said, whoever says to his brother kafir, then it's going to fall back to one of them. Well, that's true for many things. If you say, you know, to his brother, you know, hypocrite, it'll fall back to one of them. And if you say to your brother, stupid, one of you got to be stupid. One of you got to be stupid. If you actually say it. I'm convinced without any doubt of your stupidity. Because not only was your question stupid, but you try to put shade on the scholars of Aqidah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'at. Who did this? Little old Rashid Abdurrahman? Without any proof. And then think you will not be shaded in the same way. Yeah, you are far more stupid than I thought. Look at it. See? People like this, they can't control themselves. You get me? They have a total lack of self-control. And when they get triggered, they have to type something. And they want you to feel pain. So that's why they go to the ad hominem attacks, because they're trying to insult you into submission. They want you to hurt your feelings. Until you submit, until you be quiet. It's ridiculous. Let's see if we can find some more here, some different people now. And anyways, let's go. All these people, they're nobodies anyways. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, here we go. I came here to say there are no stupid questions except those unasked. And it's not like that I'm trying to say that one is or isn't stupid. So I'm out because I can't say what I want to say and stand firm on it. My bad. I'm not sure why they posted that, but anyways. You know, for Khan already. I think it was a question based off the video. Like, is this really true? What this person is saying in the video? Why don't you watch a video? Like, oh my gosh, man. That's why, you know, I can only love you Negroes from afar, man. I'm sorry, man. I love y'all black folk, but from a distance, man. from a distance. This is crazy, man. Why even post? You should actually watch the video first to see if what I'm saying is true, right? That would make more sense. Anyways, let's see what else Furqan already got to say. White supremacy is racism, and white supremacy is in Islam. The lighter skin of a Muslim, the more they think they are better in general. That's a fact. Just look at the whole Islamic world. So what are we discussing? And anyways, and it doesn't matter what creed, Wahhabis or Ahli Sunnah wal Jamaat. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna read all these comments anyways. I just want to show y'all that how deep it got with the live we did with Sheikh Hanif Bashir. It got real deep, man. It got really, really, really deep. And up until now, out of all these comments, there's only two types of Ash'aris and Maturidis in this whole 100 comment list, right? The ones who have taken a clear position against us for pointing it out, and the ones who will remain on the fence. But there's not a single one, including the ones who claim to have watched the videos, who said, yeah, that's what's his face? Ibn Khan, he's definitely wrong. That sheikh is definitely wrong. No, this is wrong. What they said is not a single one of them came out against their own peoples. They come out after you first. You get it? Let us be very clear about that. They are not with you in Akida, and they are not with you even in black issues. Just outright attacking us or riding the fence because they don't want to attack their own people in Akida, that is. Where are the Ash'ari and the Maturidiyya to say that what Ibn Khan said is absolutely out of pocket? Where are they? Where are the ones who say that Hamza Yusuf was absolutely out of pocket for what he said about racism in America and the rate of black death and white death by cops and arrests and stuff? Where are they? Where are they? Do they exist? But instead, what we have, you see black people, I mean, man, we are so gullible, outrageously gullible. This is how black people are, okay? If a black person does something wrong, we can never, ever, ever let that go. We will hold a grudge until Yom Qiyamah against another Negro. But let some white folks wrong us. Let them wrong us. The second they apologize, we forgive them. Khalas, don't worry, it's all good. Don't worry. I'm sorry. Hamza Yusuf, I'm sorry. Okay, Hamza. Okay, Sheikh Hamza, we forgive you. You don't believe me? Watch this, y'all. Y'all are tripping, man. Where are these guys, man? Don't hide now. Somebody please tag them. Somebody tag them in this live. Somebody tag these Ash'ari Maturidis in this live. Tell them to pull up, please. You don't believe me? Watch this, y'all. Look at this. Y'all ain't ready for this, man. Let me just slow this down first. I'll put it at 1.25. Get to the
قالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل فانقلبوا بنعمة من الله وفضل لم يمسسهم سوء واتبعوا رضوان الله. That people say, oh, people are gathered against you, and they were increased in iman. Why? أحسب الناس أن يترك أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. Because they know that the nature of the world is tribulation. This is darul bala'in. If you think this place was meant to be a wonderful place and everything goes right, you're in the wrong place. That's called Jannah. This is called dunya. And we have to come to terms with that reality. And finally, the last part is on this idea somehow that in any way, shape, or form, I was suggesting that we don't have a race problem in the United States of America. A'udhu billah. I would not in any way belittle the struggles of a community who inherited the legacy of slavery. We're looking at several hundred years of persecution. I mean, the idea that in some way I'm insensitive to that is just completely insane. And it was interesting.
You sure about that, Hamza Yusuf? Are you sure about that? You see, Hamza Yusuf, he's not stupid. He's actually quite intelligent. Very, very smart. Very intelligent. Actually, I respect his intelligence. But Hamza Yusuf lies. He's straight up lies. What do you want me to tell you, man? The man lies. Are you sure that you were not being insensitive? Black folk. And the idea that you would be insensitive to black folk is ludicrous. You sure about that? Ironically, his video just happened to disappear. I can't find his video of making those statements anywhere. I can only find the quotes. But he said, let's just rewind that. Let's listen to what he said again. Okay, shall we?
On this idea somehow that in any way, shape, or form, I was suggesting that we don't have a race problem in the United States of America. A'udhu billah. I would not in any way be...
Okay, so he would never now suggest that we don't have a race problem in America, right? No, we don't have a race problem. No. Now, I would never suggest that. You know how we talk, right? I can't even. No. Hamza Yusuf strokes controversy with the comments about Black Lives Matter and political Islam. He said, and quote, the United States is, in terms of laws, one of the least racist societies in the world. You see what I mean? He lied. he will waffle and slither and slide out of anything with an apology if as pressure is put on him. His position is your position. If you put enough pressure on him, he will take your position. Now, I would never suggest. Is this a suggestion that there's not a race problem in America? It seems to me that he suggested that there's not a race problem in America. That's how I interpret that. No. Let's keep reading. Where are we here? We have between 15 to 18,000 homicides a year. 50% are black on black crime. There are twice as many whites that have been shot by police, but nobody ever shows those videos. Hanzo Yusuf, y'all. It's the assumption that police are racist, and it's not always the case. Excuse me. What did he say again? Let's hear what he said again. You're way beyond suggesting that you don't have a race problem in America. That is way beyond suggesting that you. That is an outright denial of a race problem in America. Look here. I think it's very dangerous to just broad stroke any police that shoots a black as immediately being considered racist. Sometimes these are African American police officers. The police aren't all racist. If anybody leads with they are not all racist, there's only one of a few types of people. An actual racist, a Sambo, or somebody who is defending the white supremacist system. Outrageous straw man arguments. Outrageous strawman arguments. Just a couple of weeks ago, Jordan Neely was murdered. Murdered by an ex-Marine who got heralded as a hero for murdering him in broad daylight. And even Muslims are praising this. Muslims are praising this and sharing memes of Jordan Neely being murdered in broad daylight. Why was he murdered? Was he threatening anybody? No, he was being a nuisance. He was being a nuisance. Is being a nuisance a death sentence in any country? So now civilians can become judge, jury, and executioner for nuisances. His murderer able to raise almost $2 million for his case. He's an ex-Marine being pushed as a Marine and as a hero for saving people in the subway station. When black folk point out that had the tables been turned, there wouldn't be any question that this was murder. Here come white folks in them, and every single operator. Not all Marines are racist. This has nothing to do. You see what I'm saying? You see how they play games? But let some Jew bomb a Palestinian village, or let some Jew shoot a Palestinian, or let some Jew chase a Palestinian out of Aqsa. Let that happen. And let the Jews say this isn't about racism, it's because it's our land. Let them say that. And watch these same so-called Muslims change face so fast. Hamza Yusuf, he added, we should all be against ideologies of supremacy and one people over another people. It's completely antithetical to our religion, but we have some of the worst racism in our own communities. The anti-Jewish rhetoric that you hear in Islamic communities is horrific. You got to be joking. Okay? Do you know what it's like to be a Pakistani in a lot of the Gulf states from India or Kerala or even worse? People talk about white privilege. What about Arab privilege? What about Arab privilege over non-Arabs in the Middle East? See, he took a side. He didn't say this out of ignorance because he knew exactly what he was saying. He knew exactly what he is saying. He's a very, very, very intelligent person. But he's also an avid waffler. But what is worse, like I was mentioning, is that black folk have got to be the most gullible people on earth. Because as you can see here, this is from Buna Muhammad's Facebook, right? The rapper, whatever he is. And this is what he's saying. I'm glad Sheikh Hamza Yusuf clarified his statements at Riz 2016, and it takes a big man to own up to mistakes. You can't make this crap up. You cannot make this crap up. But how do we know it's not just Buddha Muhammad? Let's listen to Hamza Yusuf speak, okay? Shall we listen?
I would not in any way belittle the struggles of a community who inherited the legacy of slavery. We're looking at several hundred years of...
He won't belittle the community who inherited several hundred years of slavery by saying the United States, in terms of its laws, is one of the least racist societies in the world. United States, people. He's not belittling it, though. He's not belittling it. Don't take this as belittlement. Because we all know that, white folks know a thing or two about racism, right? All the racism they experience. Right? Anyways.
Persecution. I mean, the idea that in some way I'm insensitive to that is just completely insane. And it was...
No, the idea that he's insensitive to that is completely insane. Because, as he said, I think it's very dangerous to just broad stroke any police that shoots a black as immediately being considered as racist. So he's not completely insensitive to that. He's just maybe 90% insensitive to that, right? 90% is not completely. %90 is not completely. Where are the bones and biscuits to come defend this crap? Why are y'all so quiet? Where are the bones and biscuits to defend this nonsense?
It's interesting. It was the African American brothers that contacted me just to say, you know, sorry about all this stuff going on.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Maybe other people from other
whoa,
ethnic
whoa.
groups.
Did you hear what he just said? Did y'all hear what he just said?
Years of persecution. I mean, the idea that in some way I'm insensitive to that is just completely insane. And it was interesting. It was the African American brothers that contacted me just to say, you know, sorry about all this stuff going on.
He just said it's interesting that it was the African American brothers who came not to put him on blast, not to give them a piece of their mind, but to tell Hamza Yusuf they sorry for all the stuff that's going on. We apologize for our peoples being mad at you telling us, sir, that not all police is a racist when they shoot us, sir. We're sure sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Now, how about that fried chicken and butter biscuits, sir? No, sir. We sure is sorry, Hamza Yusuf. What? The Negroes in the fields, they's mad? They's mad, Hamza Yusuf? Wow. Wow, we sure is sorry. Can you believe that? Who is apologizing to him? The African Americans. They're not putting him on blast. They're not telling him who you think you are. And how do we know this? Because this is Buna Muhammad pushing this stuff. Buna Muhammad coming to defend Hamza Yusuf. Not even a whole day after the fact. And what does Buna Muhammad say? Well, I don't believe he had no malicious intent and hates black peoples. Or is he racist at heart? Here's right in this. He had, look at here. He has more knowledge in regards to Islam than I or most people probably ever have. But at the moment someone starts speaking about social injustice and racism from the perspective of a white man, sir, it's no longer a matter of wahi, revelation, and he likes everyone else and can be put in their place. You can't make this crap up. You cannot make this stuff up. Only Negroes. Only black people do this nonsense. Do y'all remember what's his face? The basketball player, man. Why am I forgetting his name? The basketball player became Muslim, man. Kyrie Irving. Y'all remember Kyrie Irving Put one in the chat if you remember Kyrie Irving, please. Y'all remember him? Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving shared a tweet about From Blacks to Hebrews, a documentary from these Hebrew Israelites who are saying in this documentary that Hebrews were originally black. He just shared a tweet. He didn't take an opinion. He didn't say anything out of his mouth. It was brought up at a news conference that he shared this tweet. And all they had to do was say anti-Semitic. That's it. All they had to do was just say that it was an anti-Semitic tweet. Nothing about the tweet is anti-Semitic, mind you. But they just said it. Even a documentary in itself is not anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're saying because in the documentary, they're saying that the white Jews are Ashkenazi, that's anti-Semitic. That's what they say. Whatever. But they just said it. And because of that, Kyrie Irving was suspended, was forced to apologize, was made to do sensitivity training for Jews, was not allowed to forget the tweet that he shared. He just shared a tweet. Those Jews made sure that they did not let Kyrie Irving know you can't be doing that stuff. Hamza Yusuf. Well, just because a police shoots a black person, it doesn't mean that they're racist. Not all police are racist. Here come Buddha Muhammad. Well, I don't believe he had malicious intents and hates black people. On some goofy crap. Or is racist at heart. Look at this goofiness. And he couldn't even wait. He had to do it December 26, 2016. Can't wait to defend Zaddy. But as if that wasn't enough, Unso Yusuf himself is telling you, it's the African Americans who are apologizing to me for what I am going through. Because obviously I'm being oppressed here. You can't make this stuff up, man. So is it any shocker that when we point out that Ash'aris and Maturidis are bragging on their scholars who are anti-black, and we quote them word for word, and we give them the scholars that they are quoting word for word, that these house Negroes come and attack us and don't have a single oomph to say about the white supremacy that's growing in their ranks. Not one word, not even an oomph. Is it any surprise? Look at this goofy nonsense, man. This alhamdulillah for the black grassroots. Alhamdulillah for the black Muslim grassroots, man. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah for the black Muslim. If it wasn't for the black Muslim grassroots, who would speak for you? Buna Muhammad? Hamza Yusuf? Daniel Hakikuchu? Who's speaking for you? Look at all your big YouTubian elites. Who's speaking for you right now? Is it Muhammad Hijab? Is it Eddie from Medine show? Is it Abdullah Amdalusi? Who talks for you? Who defends you? These Negroes are so goofy and so gullible. Let a black person right now just make a mistake and watch Negroes lose their damn minds. And if that black person apologizes, you think that these Negroes will be quick? Like Buna here? Coming with the nicest words in ever. Well, he has more knowledge in regards to Islam than most people ever. Oh, goofy Negro. Goofy, man. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts. And Allah, He says in the Quran, He's not going to change the condition of people. They change the condition within themselves. As long as you Negroes keep doing this nonsense, nothing will change. Absolutely nothing will change. Because y'all sign off on the most outrageous, outlandish crap. Imagine Kyrie Irving sent a tweet and suffered for it. A black man could get murdered on the subway in broad daylight by a civilian while being recorded, and there are absolutely no consequences for that. None. Absolutely no consequences. Because y'all, Hamza Yusuf yesterday. Well, not all police officers are racist. The brakes get put on them. Today he comes out. Well, I'm sorry. Here come Negroes. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, we're sorry. We're sorry first. We're sorry first that you have to endure all the pressure that you have to endure for saying, speaking your mind. Nobody should endure that. Y'all are straight tripping, man. Straight tripping. Don't play with me. And it's as if that wasn't enough. Man, who is coming in the chat today, man? As if that wasn't enough. Hamza Yusuf, he's just the gift that keep on giving, right? He says that today, apologizes tomorrow, and here's Al Jazeera. It's time for Muslim Americans to condemn Hamza Yusuf. Al Jazeera got to put this out. Why? His membership in a commission that could help Trump administration roll back human rights is the last straw. Let's read this together, shall we? Hey, the initial live was Ash'ari Maturidi Scholarship. We're taking white supremacist stances, correct? That was the live. We proved it. We sent the receipts. Y'all asking the most ridiculous questions. Where's the proof? You don't want the proof. That's the point. If you don't want the proof, why are you even asking? Don't ask the proof. You don't want it. Since the beginning of Donald Trump's presidency in January 2017, many American Muslim leaders have been busy fighting back against the repressive Islamophobic policies designed and implemented by his administration. A select few, however, have chosen to go against the best interests of their communities and help perpetuate human rights abuses against Muslims in the U.S. and abroad. Influenced by a number of factors, including internalized Islamophobia, these individuals have intentionally sided with the Trump White House. Hamza Yusuf, listen to this, once dubbed the most influential Muslim scholar in the Western world, is one of them. Last week, the Secretary of State and the top Islamophobe Mike Pompeo announced for the formation of a commission on unalienable rights, which will advise Trump on human rights and examine how words like rights can be used for good or evil. It includes some of the most conservative people in the country and will be chaired by Mary Ann Glendon, a Harvard Law professor and advocate of the flexible universalism of human rights, and who once campaigned against enshrining abortion and international human rights at the 1995 UN Women's Conference in Beijing. Subsequently, it was announced that Yusuf will also be a member of the commission. What year is this? 2019. About 2.5 years after he made that, Not all police officers are racist when they shoot black people. Some Muslims welcome his appointment, arguing that his presence there would undoubtedly have a positive effect and could help counter Trump's administration pervasive Islamophobia. Y'all are just dumb as a box of doorknobs, man. Dumb as a box of doorknobs. You can't be serious. Because Hamza Yusuf will have an effect on the Trump administration and it'll be positive. Anyways, this argument, however, ignores the fact that 2 years of intense work by Muslim communities to challenge acts of institutionalized Islamophobia, such as the Muslim ban, have not changed Trump's mind. It also overlooks Yusuf's own background. Hello, Jello. In fact, if his past has taught us anything, it is that he is quite comfortable rubber stamping the violent actions of oppressive governments. Actions he is never going to be the target of a cis white male living in the U.S. In September 2001, shortly after the terror attacks in the U.S., he was a sole Muslim representative in a delegation of religious leaders who met President Bush and endorsed his decision to launch a military campaign against terrorism in his war on terror. Who endorsed President W. Bush's decision to launch a military campaign against his war on terror? Who was it? Who was the sole Muslim representative who did that? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Who was the sole Muslim representative that endorsed George W. Bush's war on terrorism? Somebody please put it in the chat. Can't tell me nothing. Thank you. Don't tell me squat about Ash'ari Maturidi. We ain't talking about that right now. Somebody explain this. One of y'all explain this, please. Y'all thought I was joking when I said this man is a waffler and a liar and all kind of stuff. Y'all see it now? Do y'all see it now? Actually, let's go back and share the screen. My bad. Can't tell me squat. Look here. When Trump was elected president in 2016, following a divisive Islamophobic, misogynist, and racist election campaign, Yusuf discouraged people from protesting against an administration that was elected on a promise to erode the rights of the most vulnerable. Can you imagine that? Do y'all see it now? Is Hamza Yusuf a scholar? Absolutely, he's a scholar. 100% he's a scholar. Is he intelligent? 100% he's intelligent. 100% very intelligent. Very, very intelligent man. Well-spoken, articulate. His intelligence and his Islamic scholarship is very dangerous to Muslims. Very dangerous. And what makes it even more dangerous is his whiteness. Because y'all, especially y'all Easterners, you worship whiteness. Your entire outlook on life does not progress unless Zaddy says so. The only Muslim to sign off on George Bush's war on terror, Hamza Yusuf. Then 2016 comes. What does he say? He says, we have too much work to do, not protesting, not lighting fires, not saying Trump is not my president. He wrote on his website in November 2016. He is, and that is how our system works, by accepting the results and moving on. Then a month later, black Muslims came face to face with Yusuf's misplaced loyalties. And then when he declared at the conference at the U.S. that the U.S. is one of the least racist countries, and tried to use the racist trope, black on black crime, to convince Muslims not to join forces with Black Lives Matter movement. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are straight tripping. Y'all are straight tripping. These are his words. And when we quote his words, you're saying that we are attacking him. He knows very well what he's saying. And he has taken his position. And you, poor silly Negroes, poor blind following Negroes, poor isnad chasing Negroes, not allowed to think for yourself Negroes, goofy Negroes, shucking and jiving Negroes. Y'all are signing off on this? This is what you sign off on? You accept the apologies of folks like this all you want. We are not obligated to accept apologies from folks like this. Y'all hearing me? Sellouts like y'all come a dime a dozen. That's why you're all sellouts. You sell out. That's why you come a dime a dozen. And y'all are the worst type of us. The worst from amongst us. The absolute lowest from amongst us. Because you don't fight for us. You don't stand up for us. You are always in our way. When we try to do something for us, it's always y'all who play defense and become buffers to the enemies amongst us. It's y'all who invite these hostile elements in our house. And when they start burning our houses down, and they go outside with the torches in their hand, and we start trying to put out the fire, you say, no. He needs that torch. He needs that torch. How is he going to see to get home? He needs the light from that torch. That's y'all. You are the worst types. We as black folk, if we refuse to cut off these rotten fruit, then we will become rotten ourselves. And one of the first and most potent ways of cutting off this rotten fruit is not to even engage with them. That is wasted movement. Why are you wasting your time with folk like this? They will find all kinds of excuses for people who have zero good intentions for us. They exploit us. And they are professionals exploiting us. And they encourage every single other community to come and exploit us. And here you are playing defense for them. You don't defend us and the only reason why you don't defend us is one reason and one reason only, is because we are Salafi. That's it. And even if we had been Ash'ari Maturidi, you would command us to be blind followers like you are blind followers. You are just as bad as the white supremacists as you defend. You are white supremacists in blackface. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. You are incredibly harmful to the community. And the funny thing is that you think that you are doing good by defending the hostile elements. There's no shortage of hostile elements in the black community. We got to deal with the white supremacists. We got to deal with the South Asian white supremacists. We got to deal with the Asian white supremacists. We got to deal with the Arab supremacists and the Arab white supremacists. We got to deal with all of that. Then we got to deal with the coons, the Sambos, the sellouts, the shines. We got to deal with the crabs in the crab bucket. And then we got to deal with the ultra dogmatic Negroes as well. Ultra dogmatic. And this is how we know that Allah, for sure, He is real and He is the truth. Because only Allah Himself can get us out of the condition that we're in. It's only Allah. But Allah absolutely will not help us until we are ready to help ourselves. And step one of helping ourselves is cutting out all the bad fruit and making sure there is no wasted movement in our movements. Too much wasted movement. Can you imagine this stuff, man? Look at here. So imagine 2016, you know, he says U.S. is one of the least racist countries. He's telling black folk, wagging his finger in the face of black folk, talking about black and black crime. And just because a black man dies from a cop doesn't mean it's racism, all kind of stuff. 2016, he apologizes the next day, okay? The next day he got to apologize. Here come all, you know, yes, sir, yes, sir, yep. Here come Bruno Muhammad and stuff. I don't believe you racist. Here comes what's it, Zayd Shaka. Hamza, you're not racist. Hamza, you're not racist. No, sir. No. Not even 2 years later, in December 2018, Yusuf again made headlines for calling UAE a country that has zero tolerance for political dissent and currently involved in devastating war in Yemen, tolerant. That he clearly ignores all human rights abuses that the UAE has been accused of is rather unsurprising, given that he is a former student of the good old friend of Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya and is serving as the president of his forum for promoting peace in Muslim societies, a religious body bankrolled by where? Abu Dhabi. What they are hinting out here, see, I told y'all Hamza Yusuf, he has stages to his dawah. Those of y'all who are from the 90s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And there are 3 major stages to his dawah. Okay? Those of you who are Muslim in the 90s, we all loved Hamza Yusuf. All of us. Every last one of us was listening to Hamza Yusuf. He was one of our favorite sheikhs, one of our favorite speakers in the 90s. We'd have his cassettes, we'd have those things on repeat sometimes. Excellent speaker. But in that stage, that was the first stage of his dawah, he would wear a kufiya, like, you know, those no-brim kufiyas, and those long type of trench coats and a white thobe. And he was very inconspicuous, you can say, or unassuming. But one thing he never did was come out and say that he was a Sufi. He was hiding his Sufism back in those stages. He was hiding it. The second stage of his dawah is when the Salafis were incinerating each other all online. And then he started pushing New Hamim Keller. And he started openly saying he was Sufi and Ghazali and all this kind of stuff. And then at this time he started wearing those Mauritanian, like those white style thobes and a big turban. That was the second stage of his dawah. He's openly trying to show his Sufism in his dress, in his attitude, and his speeches. Y'all hearing me? And the last stage is a stage that you see now. What stage? This stage. Let me show y'all again. Just to remind you. Just to remind you what it is. This is the most recent stage of Hamza Yusuf and his dawah. This stage. The suit and tie wearing ultra academic. The one who owns his own institute and only speaks in large forums now. He goes to universities and talks. He only talks. This is the most recent stage of his dawah now. The professional white man. If you think it's cap, just go back and watch his older videos. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And one thing about this new stage in his dawah is that he is taking a very hard position in right-leaning politics. And even though his position is hard, his language is soft. Just like it was in the 90s, just like it was in the early 2000s. He's hiding. Just like, you see how he was hiding in the 90s? He was hiding his Sufism in the 90s. Well, now he's hiding his alt-right tendencies. You get it? Can't tell me nothing. That's Hamza Yusuf, y'all. This is Hamza Yusuf. So what is you talking about? That what do you mean the Ash'aris and the Maturidi scholarship is taking white supremacist position? What more you want, man? Even Al Jazeera is saying it. What more do you want? Every single person that been Muslim in the 90s knows exactly what I'm talking about right now with regards to Hamza Yusuf and his dawah. Every last one of them. Al Jazeera is saying, ironically, the reason why he's silent about what's going on in Yemen, because there's a conflict of interest with his sheikh and who's bankrolling his peace initiative. Keep reading. One can argue Yusuf is only practicing what he has preached by joining the Commission of Unalienable Rights to attempting to work with Trump administration. But can we really believe that his inclusion in Human Rights Panel, clearly designed to enable anti-black, looky here. Is Al Jazeera Wahhabi too? Is Al Jazeera Wahhabi? Don't play with me now. Anti-black, anti-woman, Islamophobic, and xenophobic policy decisions of the Trump administration can lead to positive change. Can we give Yusuf the benefit of the doubt given his history of perpetuating imperialist propaganda and defending rights repression? This ain't the Feachaz no more speaking. Some Muslims who continue to believe in Yusuf's good intentions, we call those Muslims the Raccoons. The Raccoons. The Raccoons. I meant to say the Raccoons. YouTube, don't demonetize me, YouTube. The Raccoons. Okay? The Sambos. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. This is a long live I'm doing, YouTube. Don't demonetize me. I said the Raccoons, okay? Despite his appointment to the committee called to the community to give him nasiha, or compassionate advice, including well-known respected imam who, against the usual suspects again, Zaid Shaker. Remember we asked in the beginning, where are these black imams? Right, from the Ash'ari and Maturidi, and we said don't mention Zaid Shaker. Can nobody listen to him anyways? There you go. It's like whatchamacallit. It's like when Donald Trump, when he was president, and and then when he's doing that his campaign, he goes, "Where's my black person at? Where's my black people?" That's Zaid Shaker and the Ash'aris circles. He's that guy, Zaid Shakir. You get it? He's the guy that they call when they say, well, we need a black guy. Who can we call? Oh, I know, Zaid Shakir. He's the black guy. And he's not too black to scare all the other, Sufis away and stuff, You know what I'm saying? All these other break dancing, buck dancing, booty dancing, tomb worshiping, jumping, Ya Allah, Ya Habibana, Ya Sayyidina, screaming and singing Sufis. He's not too dark to scare them away. He's got the complexion for the infection, okay? Zaid Shakir. That Zaid Shakir. Remember I said I wasn't going to get that dogma out. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Salafis. Do you realize how diverse Salafi scholarship is? If you ask any Salafi to name black scholars, white scholars, South Asian scholars, even Asian scholars, if you tell them to name, they would be able to name scholarship from every single race. Every and all races. Easily. And they won't even have to think twice about it. If you ask any Salafi right now, just name, 5 or 10 black students of knowledge. They'd be able to rattle off easily. Easily. Ask an Ash'ari Maturidi, name 3 black, well-respected black scholars or students of knowledge in the Ash'ari Maturidi that everybody listened to. Not just people specific to black people, that everybody listened to. For Salafis, we have Dr. Bilal Phillips. Every Salafi loved some Dr. Bilal Phillips. You ask the Salafis of Sheikh Muhammad Aman al-Jami. Salafis love themselves Muhammad Aman al-Jami. You ask the Salafis about Sheikh Muhammad Adam al-Ethiopi. The Salafis love themselves some Sheikh Muhammad Adam al-Ethiopi. You ask the Salafis about Sheikh Abdullah Hakim Quick. Salafis love themselves some Abdullah Hakim Quick. Then you can ask them about even some white Tulab al-Ilm. Ask them about Dr. Umar Post. Farouk Post, Farouk Post. Even you can say whatchamacallit? Abdullah McPhee, rahimahullah. So many. We have them from all over. Ask a Sufi right now. Just name 3. Can you do it? No. Can you name 2? No. Well, who is the black respected scholar that everybody loves from the Sufis? Zaid Shakir. You can't make this crap up. But they want to accuse Salafis day and night because we are brave enough to point out racism within the Salafis. They can't do it with themselves because of that blind following nonsense, man. They can't do it. Let's keep reading, y'all. But when does Nasiya end and accountability begin? Didn't Yusuf get enough Nasiya in the last 2 decades when he was spending his time legitimizing the war on terror and praising repressive regimes, for how long do we need to hold on to the idea that his intentions are good, and he should be kindly advised rather than condemned? You know what it is? We said it before, man. It's the way that he carries himself. He carries himself as this soft, intellectual. You know what I mean? This very soft guy, intellectual, and a soft voice, and well spoken, and well dressed, and of course, the whiteness helps. Of course, especially with y'all foreigners, man. I'm sorry, man. Y'all love yourself some zaddy, man. Y'all love yourself some zaddy, right? So he can do no wrong. And the second he does wrong, if you put pressure on him, all he has to do is apologize. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. If you think that I really meant to undermine the slavery and the racism that has been happening for hundreds of years, no, I didn't really mean to do that. No, that's ludicrous. Hamza Yusuf, y'all. All he has to do is that. And y'all accept him back with the quickness. Sorry, guys. Y'all are tripping, man. Hamza Yusuf today. Just because a black person gets shot by the police, it doesn't mean it's racism and black crime. And then puts pressure on him. And tomorrow, sorry guys.
Emotional damage.
That's y'all, man. You see, we giving these guys so much chances to come on. Even though I'm about to hop out this live now, man. This is just ridiculous. Like, where are you guys? You seriously got nothing to say now? Seriously, I know some of y'all are watching too. I know for sure some of y'all are watching. Let's finish reading this up, man. Y'all are tripping, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look at Bilal saying. Look what Bilal is saying. None of them are here for real. You see what I'm saying? They're watching. You know these guys, they always watch all the time. They can see that we're giving them that smoke, and they're brave. This is why I don't comment on Facebook and these type of things, man. That's why I don't do it, because these guys are only brave behind the keyboard. But once they have to put themselves out there, no sir. They don't want that smoke, man. Hamza Yusuf for y'all. See, Sister Tika says when you sound like that, you sound like the gingerbread man from Shrek. That's how Hamza Yusuf sound. You ever hear him speak? Well, that's why, it's all about intention. And my intention wasn't to do that, guys. Well, he always says that. That's his go-to move. Well, he always says that, bro. You know what? I'm not gonna read this anymore, man. This is too much. I think I done enough You know, and I promise you that, like, you're gonna find these guys when they get brave enough, they probably go on Facebook and whatever. Why are you backbiting? Why are you backbiting? Stop backbiting! They're so silly, man. They're so silly, man. They're defending the wrong things. You get me? They think that their favorite speakers can't be white supremacists because it's their favorite speakers. Like it's like when you watch people on video and YouTube and whatnot, you think you know the person you don't know the person that you're watching. You don't know them. You really don't. You can only go by what's apparent, and what's apparent is their actual statements and their actual actions. That's it. No amount of nice speech and beautiful speech and whatnot can erase that. When you see them trying to gloss over their positions with nice speech and whatnot, like how Hamza, he liked to waffle and stuff like that. This is a dishonest person. He's doing that because he's trying to save his own reputation. But in the background, he's doing something else. He's done this before. He's already done this when he wasn't Sufi, remember? No, I'm not a Sufi! I'm not a Sufi! I'm not! Liam Brady had a perfect description right there. Silk tongue academics. Silk tongue, exactly. Perfect description. And Bilal says, just like JP. Yep, just like Jordan Peterson. We seen him do it. The reason why he works the way that he's working is because he's trying to work against you while not offending you. Because he needs you. Just like Hamza Yusuf, he needed us back in the day, and he couldn't have it get out that he was a Sufi back then because he would get rejected back then. And when Salafi started screwing the pooch and attacking each other left, right, and center, that's when he came out as a Sufi. Not before. It was at that time. So if that's how you roll, you get it? You don't have the heart to deal with this stuff, man. Y'all need to sit down and shut up. Can you imagine? We've been doing this for almost 2.5 hours now. We've been challenging these dudes. Where are they? And they can't come. You didn't hear that one? You are not fit for this game. You're not fit for this game. You're a tool. You're a pawn. You work for the enemy. You don't got the heart for this, man. You have to have some thick skin to deal with this stuff. That's not you. All you're good at is defending those people who don't have your best interests at heart. But But anyways, Sister Tika, I want to thank you so much for your generosity. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 10,000 fold. Y'all, we've been doing this for almost 2.5 hours. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. You know, I don't think I can wait much longer. I don't think anybody's coming, to be honest. Right? So don't forget to support your Black Muslim grassroots media. Okay? Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Don't forget to support us on PayPal, on Wealth Simple, the Cash App on Wealth Simple there. The Hard Knocks University tuition fees. Don't forget to support us with the super chats and whatnot. And we are really about it on this channel here, man. We're not messing around, right? If brotherhood is a thing, then brotherhood needs to be practiced in reality. It can't be just something that we say out of one side of our mouth and then start preaching white supremacy on the other side of our mouth. And when actual Muslims start preaching white supremacy, we start defending the white supremacist Muslims. That's not a thing in Islam. If that's your position, if you take the position of the white supremacists, Muslim or not, then we ain't brothers. It's as simple as that. And on Yom Al-Qiyamah, we will see if you think you're hard. We don't play that around here. We are brothers, 100% brothers. We love each other for the sake of Allah. We hate what we hate to have each other harmed for the sake of Allah. But don't think you're going to harm us under the banner of Islam and think that we are just going to stay silent about it. Subhanaka bihamdik wa shara la ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.